today is a letter from J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series. The letter's in reply to a fan who wrote her a letter after the tragic death of both of her parents in a fatal shooting in America. The fan, 15-year-old Sasha, wrote to Rowling for support as her love of the Harry Potter series and her strong connection to the character, Harry Potter in particular, was not only helping her through her tragedy, but through her life as a teenager and all the difficulties that entails. Rowling's response was accompanied with a letter from the desk of the Professor Dumbledore, written by hand in purple ink, signed copies of the Harry Potter series, and a replica wand. Sasha very much appreciated Rowling's response, as reported in the media, and it was a great support to her. So let's have a look at the text. Today's learning goal is to examine the structure of an informal letter. Dear Sasha, beautiful name, I've never heard it before. Thank you for your incredible letter. Incredible because you do indeed sound phenomenally like Harry Potter, in your physical resemblance and in your life experience. I cannot tell you how moved I was by what you wrote, nor how sorry I am to hear about your parents. What a terrible loss. I know what it is like to be picked on, as it happened to me too throughout my adolescence. I can only wish that you have the same experience that I did and become happier and more secure the older you get. Being a teenager can be completely horrible, and many of the most successful people I know felt the same way. I think the problem is that adolescence, though often misrepresented as a time of rebellion and unconventionality, actually requires everyone to conform if they aspire to popularity, or at least to rebel while wearing the right clothes. You're now standing on the threshold of a very different phase in your life, one where you are much more likely to find kindred spirits and much less likely to be subject to the pressures of your teenage years. It is an honor to me to know that somebody like you loves Harry as much as you do. Thank you very much for writing to me. I will treasure your letter, which entitles you to boast about this response as much as you like. With lots of love, J.K. Rowling, or Joe to you. There are several important structural features in letters. To start with, usually informal letters have the author's name in the top right-hand corner, in this box here. As a famous person, Rowling's mail would go to a P.O. box, and it's unlikely she would place her address on the letter in order to protect her privacy. In formal letters, the addressee, or the person receiving the letter, would also have their name and address in the top left-hand corner. As this is an informal letter, Rowling has not put Sasha's address here. Another feature to note is J.K. Rowling's name written clearly in bold at the header of the text. Rowling would have special stationery on which her name appears. We know that Rowling's hand wrote this letter, making it all the more special for Sasha. Writing it on her personal stationery, as we can see here. Letters also feature the date, which I've highlighted in purple above the text on the right-hand side of the page, usually on the line above the introduction, otherwise known as the salutation, which appears on the left-hand side of the text above the body. We can see clearly that Sasha is the recipient of the letter, as highlighted in green. The tone of the letter is established with the statement, "Beautiful name, I've never heard it before," a comment which is evidently supportive of Sasha and a beautiful way to start a letter of support. The body of the text consists of a large paragraph which begins with the phrase, "I know what it is like." By using the personal pronouns I and me throughout this paragraph, Rowling is developing a close rapport with Sasha, and by explaining they have had some of the same teenage experiences, Rowling is truly empathizing with her. I have underlined these key phrases in the text. It is also significant that Rowling acknowledges that Sasha, who had recently lost her parents to violence, has a shared experience with Harry Potter, who also lost his parents in tragic circumstances. The purpose of Rowling's letter is to console and support Sasha. Rowling tries to reassure Sasha that better times are ahead, as highlighted in Aqua, which is meant to restore some hope for her future. By stating Sasha's letter is an honor, thanking her and stating that she will treasure the letter plays with the power dynamic between Rowling and Sasha. Normally, it would be the fan, not the celebrity, who would write such things. This makes what Rowling has written all the more powerful by saying you can boast about this letter or this response as much as you like. Rowling has given Sasha permission to share this letter with others. How you sign off a letter really depends on the kind of relationship you have with that person. In this case, Sasha and Rowling have shared very personal experiences, and by signing off with lots of love, highlighted in yellow, Rowling is further extending her support of Sasha in this terrible time. Also suggesting that Sasha call Rowling Jo, a nickname variant of her first name, which she never publicly uses, and signing X, which is short for a hug or kiss. The personal tone is sustained from the very start to the finish. So there you have it, the structure of an informal letter, the content of the letter, the reaching out of the one person to another, written with compassionate eloquence, makes for a worthwhile text for study. Thank you, guys.